Black City, Black City. It's been a while, folks, since we've been back in Black City. But we're back in here, and today we're going to talk about the deadly city of Black City. Most people that live in Black City were born in Black City. Black City don't get too much visitors. It's not the type of place a tourist would want to visit. But from time to time, these urban explorers decide that they want to visit creepy and God-forsaken places. These people call themselves explorers, daredevils, adrenaline junkies, and they all visit abandoned cities, creepy houses, haunted mansions, and the like. Some of these people even go into the sewer in France, where there are these crypts with hundreds of thousands or millions of skeletons. Oh, but Black City is a different place. Black City, Black City. This family from Oregon, Portland, Oregon, a guy by the name of Mike Steeples and his family. He had a daughter named Jamie, and he had a wife named Eva. So, Mike and his family decided they wanted to do something exciting. They've been locked down for COVID. One of his creepy friends mentioned, hey man, if you want a real scare, I suggest you visit Black City, Black City. He said, I've never been there, but some folks said it'll really change your life. I don't know how, but you should check it out. That piqued Mike's interest. And he wrapped his family up in their SUV with a couple of necessities and camping gear for emergencies. And they made their way to Black City, Black City. Now, to get to Black City is a trick on its own. GPS don't pull up Black City, Black City. Okay? You gotta do some research on the dark web. You gotta call a guy, pay a guy, and kidnap two Scandinavian piglets from Yugoslavia. It's a very weird process. After you've proven yourself, you will be given a series of checkpoints where you would have to deliver particular I'm on my way to Black City now. I'm at one of these checkpoints, and that's the beeping. All right, you gotta have your charms with you. You gotta have your health gotta be in good order. Ain't nobody with any illness could even enter Black City. It's too risky. So after passing all this stuff, Mikey and his wife Eva and his young daughter Jamie, who's about 11 years old, a young artist, made their way to the checkpoints. Now, it wasn't too hard, given that Mike had a good connect to Black City. He had enough change to pay off the right people, and luckily, piglets were readily available in his family. So they reached the gates of Black City. There are no lights, no welcoming signs that says, welcome to Black City. No. Black City's gate, the fog was rolling all over their car. They were a little bit scared and shaken, but they knew that Black City was going to be eerie and scary. So they drove on. Black City's entrance had a long dual carriageway, single carriageway actually. Just 2 lanes, dark, nothing on the sides, no building, just grass and tall, dead trees. As they drove up the long driveway to the city, they started seeing buildings and different signs that life was nearby. Organized life, at least. So their first stop was a coffee shop. They went in and they pulled over, they go in, they say, hey sir, we'd like to have. They looked around and realized that the only types of coffee served in there were black coffee, extra black coffee, and double extra black coffee. So they say, sir, do you have some water? He said with a grim face, "Is this a water shop or a coffee shop, sir?" And with that, Mike, Eva, and Jamie, exited the coffee shop. As they exited, they almost shit their pants. Their vehicle was on the other side of the street. When they entered, however, they parked right in front of the coffee shop. Thinking that they all were just in a fog because of the new environment, they got into their cars and decided to drive on. When they came to Black City, their guide asked them specifically, "Where in Black City are you going?" What they said was, we are going to visit the old stomping grounds and the headquarters of the old destroyed Ku Klux Gang. So they got in their cars, they got no coffees, and they decided we're gonna head up further, maybe they'll find something later. So they started driving, and then they noticed that cars were weird and strange. Cars didn't have windows, cars didn't have back windows, some cars didn't have lights. But the strangest thing of all, some cars were actually driving really, really closely and suddenly stopping and reversing in the lane. This really freaked them out, and they decided to get out of the street as quickly as possible. But that wasn't easy. The cars started chasing and following them everywhere. The only time that the cars didn't really follow them is when they drove in reverse. So that's what they did until they found a safe spot to park and really check out their surroundings and what was going on. So they pulled up at this building, and this place looked like it had a bunch of stores in it. One of the stores was a bakery. They said, hey, maybe in there they got water and some pies. We get in there. So they walk into the bakery. Well, they're about to walk into the bakery, and as Mr. Mikey, as he's about to grab the handle of the door's handle opens up and bites him right on the wrist. He jumps back, farting loudly. Holy shit! He had a bit of gas in his stomach. This was natural. Nothing too terrible about this at all. But that wasn't the main issue. What is this door doing moving like this? This was really eerie. He was told to expect some weird things in Black City. This was more than weird. A door with teeth? So, fuck it, they said. They're jumping back into their cars. We're gonna go straight to the Ku Klux headquarters, and maybe we can be in and out in a couple minutes. That's what they thought. They got back into their cars. It was a whole other game. To get out of the spot he was in, he had to drive forward. And out of nowhere, there were like 12 SUVs, 4 sports cars coming right at him. Strange thing about these cars, they were driving extremely slowly. And no matter how fast he drove, it seems to be there's no way he could get away from him. Cars was coming from different angles and different parking spaces, outer alleyways. It was terrible, terrifying. He's like, hey folks, we gotta take cover. So what they did was they drove their cars into this one building, jumped out and ran upstairs. Well, that was their main mistake. You see, in Black City, the people and the trees and the critters are not the only living things in there. In Black City, the buildings are alive. The cars are alive. Some people have even seen plant pots do things that they shouldn't. Mikey and his family, Eva and Jamie, were never seen again. Black City.